Today we look at two NBA draft trades involving the Detroit Pistons. If you haven't yet, please share and subscribe to help grow the channel, and I hope you enjoy the video. Today's video is powered by SeatGeek. Get $20 off any tickets sold using promo code AITRIGHT on the SeatGeek app or website. It's NBA draft season. The lottery is out, the draft order has been revealed, the draft combine is complete, we're past the point of guys opting to go back to college, we're 2 games into the NBA Finals, individual workouts are still continuing, so 2 things happen every day on social media leading up to draft night. Looking up big boards, seeing the different options for your team to draft, whether they draft based off of need or best available, and the wild trade proposals involving players and draft picks, whether it's your basic trade between 2 teams or your more complicated trades involving a carousel of 3 to 4 teams. As the owners of the number 1 pick, the Detroit Pistons have the goods, so of course you'll see a lot of trades revolving around them. Some of these trades I've seen are ridiculous, but I've seen a couple scenarios that give me pause where all teams get questions and issued answered. Pistons beat writer James Edwards for The Athletic came up with a trade where Oklahoma City Thunder received the number 1 pick, while the Pistons received their number 6 pick along with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. The 6th pick could include players like Scotty Barnes, James Bouknight, Corey Kispert, Franz Wagner, Josh Giddey out of Australia, Moses Moody, Keon Johnson, even Jonathan Kuminga if he slips out of the top 5. Alexander comes in off of his best season with 24 points, 6 dimes, and 5 rebounds per. He did have a foot injury, but I did read that it was a tear in his plantar fascia. With rest and proper treatment, he can make an easy recovery. But making this trade also means giving up Cade Cunningham. Would the Pistons give up a player with the high floor and franchise player type hype for a sure thing who looks like he's on his way to becoming a mid-bottom tier all-star type guard? Let me know in the comments about this one. Alright, so that's the little one. Here's the big 4-team trade that really had me thinking. This was from Rod Beard from the Detroit News and involved 4 teams: the Warriors, the Cavs, the Rockets, and the Pistons. In this 4-team trade, the Warriors will be giving up their number 7 pick, their number 14 pick, along with James Wiseman and Kelly Oubre, and they would receive Colin Sexton from the Cavs and Christian Wood from the Rockets. The Warriors are looking for another guard who could be a playmaker and create for themselves off the dribble, whether getting buckets for themselves or teammates. Right now it's just Steph Curry and then Jordan Poole off the bench, who have shown the ability to do this on the roster. They also get a proven versatile forward in Christian Wood. The Cavaliers give up the number 3 pick and Colin Sexton and would receive the number 7 pick, the number 14 pick, and Kelly Oubre from the Warriors. There is word that the Cavs don't want to pay up for Colin Sexton and max him out, so moving him takes him off their hands. They're still in rebuild mode, so getting the 7 and 14 gives them some flexibility, allowing them to use their draft position to get young talent or use the picks as leverage to acquire more seasoned assets. The Houston Rockets will receive the 1st-round pick from the Pistons, along with James Wiseman from the Warriors, after giving up their number 2 pick and Christian Wood. This trade would give them a young but strong 1-2 punch with Cade Cunningham at the point and James Wiseman in the pick-and-roll game. The Pistons would give up their number 1 pick, and for that, they would receive the number 2 and number 3 pick from the Cavs and the Rockets. And it's believed they would draft Jalen Green from the G League Ignite team to pair with Killian Hayes, and then would draft 7-footer Evan Mobley out of USC to strengthen their front court. Here's a better look at what each team would receive. I think the Cavaliers were going to be in poor shape either way, especially if they don't want to get stuck in a bad contract with Colin Sexton, truly not believing he's the guy long term. I think the Warriors would take this trade all day, every day. They couldn't pay for both of these guys long term, but they'd be acquired just to make sure they were maximizing what's left of Steph Curry's prime years. If they're not able to get a superstar, at least getting him as much help and firepower as possible. Tough for the Rockets to let go of Christian Wood, but getting the number 1 pick to draft Cade along with the big man and Wiseman, who has shown some flashes, would ease some of that pain. Detroit is in an interesting predicament. They give up the number 1, but they're able to receive the number 2 and number 3 pick from the draft. If you're Detroit, is this the move that will entice you to give up that number 1 pick? Is Cade Cunningham and Jalen Green close enough to where getting Evan Mobley pushes the advantage in Detroit's favor? Honestly, I think everyone wins here, while the Cavs were already in a lose-lose situation to begin with. But they're at least able to cut ties with Colin Sexton, who they likely see as a dead asset.
Dan Dockage can't guard me.